This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the news. Well, Mano was called out by Dylan for being a hater because Mano was probably making that song High Hater about himself, okay? I've heard many instances where Mano has hated on people. In this instance, Dylan tells a story about how he had a mutual friend that knew Birdman back in 2018, and Birdman was interested in starting a Caribbean label with Dylan. So when they met up in New York at Quad Studios, they talked about it. Then Mano shows up with Uncle Murder, and Uncle Murder's not a hater, okay? But Mano kind of teased Dylan in the studio, and then Dylan was supposed to put some verse on a record. So he goes in to record. Birdman and Mano chop it up, and Mano, while Dylan's in the booth, sabotages it. Birdman sharing his idea about Caribbean Cash Money, and Dylan's gonna head it up. And Mano was like, "Yo, he ain't popping like that. Why you gonna do that with him? Like, me and Uncle Murder are popping in New York." When Mano been not popping in New York since 2013. It's been a wrap for Mano. Dropped. He claimed he was king of Brooklyn. Him and Uncle Murder didn't even get along after that, to be honest with you, after 2018, because he tried to hate on Uncle Murder. And then he hated on Troy Ave when he was friends with Troy Ave, picked up his chain. Actually, that had already happened at that point. Mano is just a hater, bro. Like, Angela Yee, for some reason, he has certain friends that save him time and time again. Link him up with Love and Hip Hop. Then he gets on Angela Yee, and he's Angela Yee's sidekick. Mano is like lucky. That's not hard work. That's luck. I'm telling you. Some people just be lucky like that. Or they be doing certain things in the industry that aren't people willing to do. Look, you know what I mean? Mano, I used to like Mano too back in the day of the DVD days, Right up until 2010, 11. Then he started like shifting energy, and I noticed I don't really know him like that. I know him a little bit. I've done a little bit of work with him before. Very little. I don't know him really at all, to be honest with you. But I know enough about him, if that makes any sense. Now, 50 Cent reacts to what's going on with Young Thug, Gunna, and all this other stuff. He says, "This is how you got to make moves in the streets now, because people telling, be careful." And it shows a guy dancing in the street. I mean, it's true. You got to dance. You don't want to like highlight too much street stuff, show what's going on. Nobody's doing no time for anybody. Nobody ever did time for people, really. Let's be real about that. Everyone, I don't know if you remember rap back in the 90s and early 2000s. People used to model everything after the mob. Like they call themselves like Luciano or, Capone. They would name themselves after mob figures, right? Goodfellas. All this stuff, right? So anyways, nobody in the mob really like stood tall. Only a few of them. A lot of them told on each other, and that's why a lot of them are out after having 19 bodies and stuff like that. They're out because they told. A lot of mob figures told. Some stood tall though, but like it just shows you that like there's no honor amongst thieves. I don't care what you are, Italian, black, Chinese. People don't want to do time like that. Mano enters the conversation. And Meek Mill says, "I hope that rat," he's talking about Tekashi, "going live to apologize to other people or the victims. Y'all forgot that fast." Now, this is, why he hates Tekashi. Tekashi pressed him, and he backed down. "Y'all forget fast a rat killed Nip." The same Nip that Meek Mill props up, he never did a song with Nipsey and helped him get to another level. He never put Nipsey on one of his albums or did a mixtape with him or anything. So don't believe this. He was not best friends with Nipsey. I worked with Nipsey since day one he came out. Day one. I helped I helped. Meek Mill didn't help. Meek Mill got on in 2011 and never helped Nipsey. Never. So Meek Mill's a fraud when it comes to that, okay? Go try to find some songs with them together that's not a mashup on YouTube. Real songs. Drake helped, though. Drake gave Nipsey a song. He says, that's the only thing I'm going to say. He probably said day, but he said say because he's dead. Left his baby mom and child like a coward as targets. He's talking about Tekashi. Question. Since you always had an opinion, this is Tekashi talking to him. You still performing We Ball with Young Thug? He says Meek Mill is the hood president, right? Yeah, Meek Mill, you should stay out of these conversations, bro. Lil Durk resurfaced interview talking about Gunna, saying, I would never perform those songs with Gunna again because, he's a rat. I don't perform with rats. But are you going to still perform your songs with Young Thug that you have? You can't. Well, you're in jail. And who knows if he's going to stand tall or not. We don't know. If things start turning left, right, he might talk. Or somebody might talk on him. Who knows? Lil Durk, it seems like he has like two sides to him, and he tried to keep one foot in the streets just too long. He didn't move on at the right time. He didn't convince Vaughn to move on at the right time, and here you are, back in jail. Now, Young Thug's sister responds to Rollo trolling him. She should stay out of this too. Because your brother sat down and had a buffet meal with the cops. I mean, there's no coming back from that. I'm sorry. Not after him trolling Gunna and everything. If he hadn't been trolling Gunna and everything, people might have said, it was just pulled in. It might have been swept under the rug, right? But nope. You guys want to make a big deal out of this Gunna thing, which he made sure none of that his plea deal didn't hurt anybody. It wasn't used in court. Yet you guys can't see that. Young Thug is like the blind leading the blind. He doesn't know what is going on, He was upset about Gunna for something totally different, and we'll never know because he won't admit it. His ego won't let him.
I'll tell you about it, see if I call my phone, because you probably don't know no better, so I'll just put you down. They said we turn everybody against us. Against them. Yeah, Rollo said, Thug made everybody not talk to me. Nah, they ain't want to talk to you anyways. My brother ain't nothing to do with that. But you ain't spending on nobody. He's like, we need to sit down and talk. I ain't hang your religion, but baby, we don't, we talk to God about shit. Y'all know I'm disrespectful. I be saying shit. I need to not say nothing to people, but don't be on the internet acting like my brother just a hoe, and y'all know my brother ain't that. On the internet acting like y'all just harm my brother. You know for a fact y'all doing it because he can't come back to Atlanta.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Niggas gonna do this. Niggas gonna click up. Niggas gonna do all this because they know he can't come back to Atlanta. That the only thing it is, he can't come back here. All that spit. Spit on who? Man, we gonna lay right back to A. Nah, we been putting belt to ad. That's why everybody clicked up.
Nah. No, that's not the case. If Young Thug came back to Atlanta, nothing would happen because a lot of people ain't messing with him no more. Brittany Renner decides to record a video of PJ Washington picking up his child, and she continues to berate him and call him names. PJ's moved on. He has a wife now. He's settled down. And, he had a baby with Brittany. And Brittany's very confused. She's already thrown down her hijab just like a guy throws down his flag in the hood. And now she's back to being non-Muslim, after Kevin Gates broke her heart. She just moves through life aimlessly. She was going to start a podcast 2 months ago. Never did one episode. It's just like, bro, she's just a mess, bro. Like, a mess. That's all I could say about that, man. It's sad. The child's involved. You shouldn't have so much anger. She tries to call him out like, oh, he gave his wife $200,000, but only gave his kid $11,000. What does the kid need $200,000 right now for? This is his wife. She doesn't understand what being a wife means, you know. Tyrese goes to the internet and cries because Mary J. Blige turned him down to do the song. Okay, he's been begging her to do this song. She's declined respectfully, and he says, "I just love you, Queen, and I just wish you're my Capricorn Queen." And he tries to like kill her with kindness, bro. Tyrese, don't go to the internet and cry like a baby because someone said no to you. What? She said no to me. Tyrese is a baby, bro. Anyways, man, that's enough of that. It's just too much, man. I appreciate you all. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys in the next one. We'll get to some newer news in a little bit. I've just been catching up sleep today. It's Labor Day, man. It's not supposed to be too much going on anyways. But as we'll ramp it up tonight because it's the start of the week. Love you all. I appreciate you all. Peace.